Today we're going to talk about homes you should never buy. Now I'm talking about kind of rules. We all know that sometimes you'll go into a home and you don't like the style of the seller, or you can't stand the paint colors, or you just can't see past all the stuff in the house. That's stuff that we can make changes to. I'm talking about serious reasons why you shouldn't buy a particular house. There are always going to be certain kinds of homes that you should avoid buying at all costs. They may feel like a good idea in the moment, but in the end, they're going to cost you thousands. And I warn my clients one on one. Sometimes we'll even walk right out of a house. And so I thought it would be great to warn all of my wonderful viewers as well. First off, are houses that have major structural issues. And I'm talking about some that need extensive repairs. I love an old house, and I live in one here in Prairie Village. Many of my clients love them as well, but there are some things that we are going to look for that would result in me saying, do not buy this house. And one big one is major structural issues. And I'm not talking about little hairline cracks or some even unevenness in the floors, although too many of those things may be a sign that there is something to be concerned about. But really what I'm talking about more are basements with bowing walls that have not had any corrective structural work already done, or deep horizontal or diagonal cracks in the basement. Those walls are more of a concern than vertical cracks, and it really shows that you've had some recent movement. Look around those cracks for water intrusion. That's a big red flag that you'll need some extensive structural work. My inspector friends have told me that cracks that are wider than the side of a dime are something that should be addressed. Now, some of these issues can be easily fixed with new gutters or better positive slope of dirt on the outside of the foundation and keeping your grass watered, which seems simple, but it makes a big difference. But some have the potential to cost you tens of thousands of dollars. Now, I'm less worried if we walk into an older home that's had this stuff already addressed. It perhaps has piers or has had some structural work done already. And I'm even happier if a seller can produce the invoice from the company that did the repairs, and we can really kind of see what they've done exactly. The next home I'm going to steer you away from are properties located in flood zones. These can be insurance nightmares. You are also assuming a pretty big risk that another 100 or 500-year flood might not happen during your time in the home. And while that's possible, our weather is crazy, and this is a risk I don't think I would take in any home. Another home I will never recommend you get is a condo. I may get some backlash by this, but condos are really tricky. There are all kinds of things that might come up out of nowhere with an HOA or new assessments that every single owner has to contribute to. And God forbid that condo becomes unwarrantable before you hope to sell it. That unwarrantable is when most lenders won't give you the loan, or if they do, your interest rate would be super high and some buyers couldn't handle it. Townhouses are so much more stable, and while they do have an HOA and some of the benefits of those HOAs, I do not see the complications that I've seen in condos. I honestly would never let a family or friend buy a condo, and I tell them that all the time. The next home I don't want you to buy are properties that are in a bad location. You cannot change a location. And what I'm talking about is like a super busy street right next to a highway, or super big power lines right next to your home. I've also had trouble having homes sell that are right next to schools. And while this one might be a little tricky because some families would absolutely love it, others find the noise, the traffic for drop off and pickup, and if it's a high school, the sports and it's loud, and it's 9 months out of the year. So those are some things that you might think about when you're considering buying a home that's right next to a school. If you're looking at a home and have some questions, like if the street is too loud, or is it so busy you can't get your car in or out of the driveway, best bet is that your future buyers will have that same question. These are things that will never change, and there's nothing you could do about it, and I would just walk away. The last one I'm going to share is kind of controversial as well, and it's a flipped home. And it's some flipped homes, not all of them. I've been in some good ones, but some are not very good because most flippers are looking to make a profit. They're not necessarily taking their time to do an amazing job on that house. When you're walking through a flipped home, pay close attention to the things that you can see. If some of the things are like half-assed, like molding matching up, or sloppy painting, or cabinets that don't fit right or put together sloppily, bad grout in places. Think about the big stuff that you can't see. I bet that stuff is even worse. The same goes for DIY homeowner projects. If you can see it and it looks terrible, don't buy it. I would honestly love to hear your experiences with some of these things, and maybe some that I didn't mention. Please put them down in the comments. Let me know what would make you walk away from a home.